Birth and death are funny things. People end, they stop, they die. I'm not sure how to put it more bluntly. But the echoes of their life lives on without them, in the memories of the people they meet. A little snapshot of their existence contained within another's brain. And then the way we change people. Our parents help define who we are, our teachers, our friends. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And even when they're gone, we still have that part of them in us. And then we change the people we meet. And so on and so forth. The echoes of life live on, even if the one that it started with is long gone. You even can get quite clear glimpses of people that have died possibly hundreds or even thousands of years ago in the text they've written. I mean, it's kind of shocking that you can read a book of some poor soul that died forever ago, but their words are still there, clear as day. It's quite the sight. Oh my. Today, something new will be born. It's your, well, beautiful baby Bonnie. I hope you take good care of her. You bring Bonnie home swaddled in soft blankets. You set her delicately down in her crib. She quietly begins to cry. Oh shit! Baby crying! What do you do? Give her a action figure. Give her a soft toy. Attempt to acquire breast milk. Turn up the TV and grab a beer. Play her some Mozart, only the finest music for my child. Check her nappy. Give her a action figure. Because dolls are for girls, goddammit. But she is a girl, basically wanted boy. I had to give her the manliest of all dolls. I mean action figures. One of a T-Rex. She pleads to insert it directly into her mouth hole and nearly chokes on it. But you learn from your mistakes and get even a bigger one. Try fitting that in your mouth now. Later on, you find out that the biggest T-Rexes were female. And the most manly of manly toys you could think of was a lie. Oh dear. The next few years are comprised mostly of crying and pooping, and considering that I'm not a sadist, I'm not going to subject you to that. So I hope you don't mind, but there may be an itty bitty time skip. 6 years later. It's a wonderful spring day. The sun feels warm on your skin. There's a soothing breeze carrying the smells of flowers and newly blooming life. It's a perfect day to go on a walk with your little Bonnie. As you peacefully stroll along, a little white rabbit jumps out in front of you. Bonnie is simply overjoyed and reaches out towards it. But But the next second, there's a sickening screech, and the rabbit is now airborne, being held in the fierce talons, piercing through its flesh, staining its white fur so very, very, very red. As the hawk swoops off into the distance, Bonnie looks up at you, tears in her eyes. What'd you do? Don't worry your little head about anything. That little rabbit always wanted to know how it feels to fly, so his friend Mr. Hawk thought he would help him out with that. Must be a breathtaking view from up there. You hear the sound of a faint whimper in the background, but you still walk on. Oh, that rabbit had just escaped from super evil murder prison and was planning to blow up a, orphanage. Yeah. The brave bird swooped in before it could do any harm. God bless our avian-based justice system. He'll be taken to trial, preceded over by vultures.
Survival of the fittest, motherfuckers! Get that fluffy bastard!
Oh, you yell, who wants ice cream? In an attempt to drown your child's sorrows in sugary treats. Please don't cry. I know it's sad, but hawks have to eat. Nature can be twisted. For predators, it's either eat adorable fluffy animals or, well, starve to death. It might seem cold-hearted, but it's how the world works. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Bonnie cries a lot. A lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. When dinner time comes, she refuses to eat any meat on her plate. She vows to never consume the flesh of an innocent creature again. It probably didn't help that you were serving rabbit for dinner. But the next morning, you cooked some bacon, and as you can imagine, her stint with vegetarianism didn't last as long as hoped for. You see Bonnibel looking up at you, beaming. Her face and hands a rainbow smudge of chalky marks. In her hand she tightly clutches a scrunched piece of paper. She raises it up in triumph. It appears to be an incomprehensible mess of scribbles. A mess of overlapping chalky colours. You assume it's a deep, postmodern representation of the human soul. But Bonnibel informs you that it is a dinosaur. Very
Back away in terror, letting out an ear-piercing scream.
You clap your hands in delight. It's beautiful, my little Michelangelo.
Dragons are way cooler than dinosaurs. Get with the times, kid.
Very postmodern. I see you're clearly taking inspiration from the school of Dadaism. Oh, your brushstrokes are reminiscent of Van Gogh's. Well, technically it's chalk, but someone as truly inspired as you doesn't need to be held back by such tawdry conventions. How dare you waste my precious child's time with such inane tasks? Playing with chalk on paper? They should be learning useful things like algebra and quantum mechanics, you know, stuff you can really use on a day-to-day basis. And not this damn hippie shit. I'm really sorry, Bunny, but it just looks like scribbles to me. But nobody starts off good at something. They practice, and they practice, and they practice. And then one day, after a lot of hard work, we'll be able to draw a truly beautiful dinosaur. For a moment, Bonnie's face is very sad, but eventually that sadness hardens into steely determination. She vows to become the best person at drawing dem dinosaurs in the whole dem world. The tyrant of T-Rexes, the Don of Diplodocus, the Viscount of Velociraptors. I would go on, but I ran out of shitty dinosaur alliteration. I'm sorry. Dad, are slugs jealous of snails? It's just snails have those little houses on top of their backs, and slugs don't. It's just unfair. They don't have a place to hide and curl up in, or a nice place to sleep when it's cold outside. It just doesn't seem very nice.
Well, life isn't fair. Deal with it. Dab. Considering the evolutionary viability of both of them, I don't think either of them are better off. I mean, slugs and snails have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and if one was superior to the other, they would have outcompeted one another years and years ago. But they're still around, so presumably they're at an evolutionary match, a tie as it were. So, yeah, they're probably equal. Otherwise, one of them would totally be dead and not here. Admit. I know, it is sad. Wait, when we get home, we can make some little shells for them so they can all be safe and snug. Snails? Really, Bonnibel? Snails? I'd expect someone with as much potential as you to be pondering the works of Aristotle and Plato. Such banal things as snails are far, far beneath you, darling. And you should treat them as such. Now, let's go read some Ulysses. Well, they do have to carry their house around on their back all day. I know I would enjoy doing that personally. In the end, fairness always balances out. Well, during the Great Snail vs. Slug War of 1890, the snail Sir Leopold of Estonia wrested the crown from the ruling snail, King Jeremy the Gooey of the Back Garden, and in his victory he declared that no slug shall ever wear a shell again, to remind them of their shameful defeat. Well, I know, it is sad. Well, life isn't fair. Deal with it. Dab. Oh, that makes sense. Is that why you're fat and balding when not? I like slugs. I like slugs too. Well, ew. That is gross. I like slugs.
You and Bonnibel have had a long day wandering around the great outdoors, peeping at wildlife. As you sleepily wander home, the sun already setting, the sky at dark blue, the last traces of light saying goodbye to the world. From the shadows, you hear a sickening crunch. Oh God, no, I didn't mean to. Out of the darkness, you see a poor, crushed little snail under Bonnibel's foot. Bonnie,
It's only a snail.
Bonnie, I know it's bad now, but we can learn from our mistakes. Next time we go out, we can bring a flashlight, so if it gets dark, we can shine it on the ground, and no snail will have to be trodden again, because we'll see them before we step. Oh, sweet pea, don't cry, it's all going to be fine, I promise.
You're going to hell, you snail murderer! You evil monster!
You didn't mean it. It was an accident. It was a horrible thing to happen, but crying about stuff can't change it. No matter how much you cry. Bonnie, we are higher life forms. There's no shame in crushing those who are weaker under your feet. You didn't mean it. Oh, I wasn't sad about the snail. It's just now my shoe's all gross with the slime, and I thought you'd be upset with me for getting it dirty. It is the dead of night, and you hear a door slowly creak open. There's a small, scared voice. There's a monster under my bed.
Oh my god, there's a monster under your bed. What do we do? Quick, get my baseball bat. I'm gonna call the police. Give the Bonnie a gun and say, you'll be safe with this. If you see a monster, just shoot it. Don't worry, I'm sure there is not a monster under your bed. Look, just to make sure, I'll go check there for myself. I promise there's nothing. Bonnie, monsters aren't scary. What is scary is the unknown. It's the darkness, it's not being able to see. So, tomorrow I'll get you a book of monsters. So then you will know, and it will be no longer unknown, therefore no more fear. Science.
Bonnie, everything is okay. It's just a nightmare. Sometimes our imaginations just get a bit out of hand. I promise you, everything is okay.
Oh my Bonnie, don't worry. I'm sure the monster is far more scared of you than you are of it. Only one of you is hiding under a bed. Don't worry, I'm sure there is not a monster under your bed. Look, just to make sure, I'll go check there for myself. I promise there's nothing. You wake up after a peaceful night's rest. There was nothing under Bonnie's bed. Why would there be? The air is cold, the sky is dark, spooks and monsters abound, creeping through every shadow, with one thought burning in their minds. Holy shit, we're gonna eat a ton of sweets! Bonnie's face is pressed up against our living room window, looking out at the majesty of Halloween. Spooks, ghouls, and ghosties abound, and princesses. For some unexplicable reason, princesses. I don't know why, don't fit with the theme. Don't make sense. And on this fateful day, you have the chance to choose what particular spook, ghosty, or ghoul your little Bonnibel will dress up as. Well, spiders do have 8 arms, and that would give you the addition of 4 times the candy-grabbing power. A lawyer, because nothing shows the true evil of our world like our corrupt legal system. Get woke, sheeple, down on the bourgeoisie. A queen, because if those other little girls gonna be dressed up as princesses, your kid's gonna outrank them. A priest, to show all those pagan sinners the true light. Note, make sure to tell Bonnie to yell at all the other kids, "Begone, foul spirit! The power of Christ compels you!" Oh, you've made her a little cross. A zombie, because all you need is pale green skin and moaning noises, and judging from the amount of candy Bonnie's gonna consume, that's gonna happen anyway. Well, spiders do have a lawyer, because nothing shows the true... A priest to show... A lawyer, because nothing shows the true evil of our world like our corrupt legal system. Get woke, sheeple, down on the bourgeoisie. Bonnie thinks this is dumb. Bonnie thinks this costume is dumb. Bonnie thinks you are dumb. You try to explain the evils of the man and the vice-like grip it has on the common worker, but she just repeats, "This is dumb." You still go out, but every time people ask what her costume is, she says, "I'm dressed as a neglected child." It's a lovely autumn day. Orange leaves gently drift along in the cold breeze. Once again, you're going for a walk with Bonnie. It feels peaceful. You feel quite content, numb to the world. Bonnie is happily skipping beside you. You can't even feel the cold breeze on your face. Everything's fine. Wait, you can't feel the cold breeze on your face. It's like November, you should probably be able to feel that. You try to reach up with one hand to touch your face. Your arm doesn't seem to move. You realize that the soothing sensation of numbness
It felt quite calming at first, but now you can't feel your body. All the sensations you've lived your whole life with, the feeling of air rushing in and out your lungs, your heartbeat, your clothes on your skin, they were so omnipresent. It just faded into the background. You forgot about them, but now it's gone. Its absence makes you feel so empty. You begin to slowly topple backwards. For a second you worry you'll hurt yourself when you hit the ground, but you remember at this point your body seems not to be capable of feeling anything, let alone pain. You look up at the sky, your vision beginning to fuzz. There's a face, someone above you, someone you really should remember. Their mouth is moving as if they're yelling, shouting, calling it, but you can't seem to hear anything. You attempt to speak, to try and soothe that distressed soul. You try to speak, but somehow you can't manage to get the words out. You desperately try, repeating it over and over in your head, but in the end, there's only silence. The last experience you'll ever have is that single thought. I love you. I love you. At least I got to spend my final moments with you. It's all going to be okay. It's funny, I thought it would hurt. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss your 7th birthday. I wanted to get you a dog. I love you. At least I got to spend my final... It's funny, I thought it would hurt. It's all going to be okay. You hear a faint cry off in the distance, but suddenly the cries are not so distant. A wave of noise hits you, cackling, hooting, screaming. You can't tell whether the makers of the sound are going through the most sensual joy or the worst pain you could imagine. You open your eyes, the noise suddenly stops. You see strange figures in front of you, small, carrying a mixture of hope and fear on their twisted faces. One slowly creeps towards you, and it appears to attempt to bow, even though its body seems rather unsuited to the position. It splutters out. Please, please, save us. The world is big and scary, but now you're here. Everything will be okay. You can protect us from the monsters at night and feed us when we're hungry. Teach us what's the difference between right and wrong. Please, we beg you. The one who fell from the stars. Help us. Help us. I'm terribly sorry. I mean no offense, but what on earth is going on? They appear to have set up some sort of feast to celebrate the coming of their new savior. They seem to be happily chirping to each other in some sort of strange alien song, passing small cups of dirty water around as if they were wine, and happily munching on something that can be charitably described as very, very stale bread. For a second they all freeze and look up at you. One of them slithers forwards, and they say, in a quavering voice,
No meat. Vegetarianism for life. If you don't go green, it means you're mean. If you eat meat, you're a deadbeat. Woo. Meat, the manliest of meals. Any food is good food. I like food. Give me food. Pizza! Any food is good. I mean, food is great. Without food, I'd be dead. And if I were dead, I wouldn't be able to eat food, which would be a crying shame. Food. Yes, it'd be good. Underground. On top of the ground. Treehouse. Why did I pick trees? Because wood is good. Not in an innuendo way. It's just, it rhymes. And rhymes are nice. And if rhymes are good, they must improve architecture, I guess. Suddenly, your little world becomes very, very still. The details begin to blur and fuzz over. There's a mind-breakingly loud noise, like shattering glass, but replicated 1,000 times over. Everything's dark. Everything's pitch black. You can't see. Your little monster friends are running around in blind panic, with as little on earth of a clue as what's happening as you currently have. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Miss Louise, do not startle me like that. Oh, sugar my heart. Wait a second. There are no grown-ups around. Tell me off. I can swear for real. Oh fucking god, don't fucking startle me like that, you—
Wait a second! Did I appear in a flash of lightning? What the hell is wrong with my hands? If you gave me dark eyeliner, by god I'm slapping the hell out of us when we wake up! The evil apparition stares at you with fierce intensity. Oh fuck no! The narrator did not just call me evil looking! I am not the bad guy here! What are these meant to be? You're too old to be playing with dolls. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
The monster looks down with sheer disgust at the little creatures scurrying around in blind panic at its feet.
This is not how we're meant to deal with this situation.
It stamps down hard like an exterminator on a particularly annoying cockroach. One of the tiny being's bodies explodes beneath the weight of its foot. Its splattered remains begin to ooze gently across the floor. The helpless little creatures begin to cry and shriek, "Please stop it!" Before the despicable monster can say another word, you raise your hand. Shoot it with your super cool laser powers. Convince it to atone for its evil ways. Ignore it. Convince it to atone for its evil ways. Ignore it. People who mean they're just doing it for attention. The more you acknowledge them, the meaner they'll get, because the more attention they have, the meaner they will be. It's the best way to deal with anything negative in life. Just ignore it and repress it and pretend like everything's okay. And maybe, if you try hard enough, one day you'll actually manage to convince yourself of that. The creature and the bodies of the dead begin to slowly fade away. They might be yelling, they might be screaming, but in a few seconds, it's all gone.
everything's okay. There's nothing to fear or reason to feel worry. Trust me.
The little creatures begin to cheer. Hooray! You banished the monster. Oh my god, I know you were awesome before, but you're so awesome. I can't describe it. So I'll just make random noises and hope it does it justice. You saved us from the monsters, from the bad place. The bad place is a place from the monsters came, which is bad. So if the monsters came from it, the monsters would be bad. Well, if it came from the bad place, it being bad goes without saying, because bad stuff comes from the bad place, which is bad. Bad, 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 bad. It's just very, 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 very not nice. We're so terribly scared. More things will crawl out of there. They come. They ruin everything. Please, make them go quiet. Such a divine thing as you could surely stop such terrible things from happening. You could stop anything bad from happening.